Cycling training apps are not just for elite cyclists. Join Cycling's for anyone who wants to ride better, get fitter, and make structured training approachable. Click the link down below to get started with a 30-day free trial just for you. Tour de France Stage 12, the first mountain stage. We haven't had a Category 1 climb or race. It's been the longest time. Last year we had the Galibier on stage 4. On 23, we had Marie Blanc on stage 5. Both stages there were big gaps. This finishes on the Hautacam. 13.5Ks, 7.5%. 120Ks of flat beforehand meant a lot of riders wanted to get in the break, whether that's to beat an easier time limit, whether that's to try and win from the breakaway for KOM points. And wow, there was a huge split. 50 men up the road. Niels Pollitt's on the front for UAE Team Emirates, setting a pace, not letting it get out of control, because you don't know who's in a breakaway when it's a 50-man deep breakaway. But Santiago Buitrago's in. Harry Sweeney's realizing he's not really got the right teammates in there. Wellens and Benoit are in for UAE and Visma. But importantly, the man who really changes this stage is Carlos Rodriguez is in this break. He's relevant on GC for the top 10. Ineos are in there with 5 riders, I think. Geraint Thomas, Foss, Arendsman, so UNO-X and EF Education Easy Post don't really like that very much. Johannesson and Healy, who's in the yellow jersey at this moment, were going for top 10, and Pollitt was pulling also to go for the stage, and there's a bit of on guard sword play action as well during the stage. Would Tadej Pogačar, speaking of wounds, how would he fare after his crash of yesterday? But going into the first climb of the stage, the Salur, 11K, 7.5%. Ineos pull all out to give Rodriguez the maximum gap possible. And on the Salur, we see Benoit and Schachmann dropping back early on. They can help Remco and Vingegaard behind. And Visma pacing with Victor Campenaerts from the bottom. And that puts a lot of riders in difficulty, not just opponents, but also some Visma riders in a second ahead. Axel Laurence paces before Arendsman, but the early pace in the first 3Ks of the Salur was putting Remco Evenepoel under pressure. He'd have to do the next 20, 30Ks solo. He gets dropped. Van Wilder was there to pace him back. Simon Yates is at the back of the group. Tadej Pogačar is on the radio for a long time, but he's got Narvaez there. He's got Adam Yates, Sivakov's drop, but he also has Wellens up the road, don't forget. And Tish Benoit's caught from the breakaway. He starts to pace even harder. Arendsman's in this never-ending battle between the peloton chasing them on the Salur. They got a gap of 141. And Wellens is still there in this group, so he's not getting caught before the summit. But notice here, Jorgensen pours a bottle of water over his head. 5Ks or so to go into the climb. And so Visma have a difficult decision to make. They've got Jorgensen going off the back, but also Remco's off the back. And Kuss starts pacing, and Narvaez starts to slide through the group. He's about to drop, so Pogačar is going to get reduced to just one teammate. But that also means Vingegaard's going to get isolated. And there's a lot of other GC contenders, and there's Jorgensen and Simon Yates dangling off the back. So Schelmoser and Woods attack in the front. Armorel goes across them eventually. Visma stop, and so the gap actually goes back out to the breakaway. Remco starts to close his minute gap as Simon Yates sets a more moderate tempo, and Narvaez is making it there as well. I can't remember if... No, Soler didn't make it back. Armorel starts pacing that group. Wellens, though, climbing really well. He's, with that lessening in pace, able to come back. Vauquelin was also struggling. So a lot of guys who were struggling on the Salur finished this stage actually pretty well. Vauquelin comes back. Woods on the descent. Him and Schelmoser, not the best descenders. They get caught and passed by Bruno Armorel, who does have the advantage of being on home roads in this region. We've got a 7 to 8 minute steep climb coming to Col de Border, and there Visma also set a tempo that again drops Matteo Jorgensen, keeps Remco Evenepoel on about 25 seconds, so he's not able to come back onto this climb. We've got a 20k valley after this, so Adam Yates starts to set a pace for UAE Team Emirates. They've got Wellens ahead, he can do the valley. Armorel, I mean, if there wasn't Wellens ahead, he probably still wouldn't have had a chance. But Wellens is ahead. So with a gap of 225, with Wellens here, with Narvaez and Yates still relatively fresh for Pogačar, and with Pogačar hungry for the stage win, it wasn't looking good for the lone survivor of the breakaway, Bruno Armorel. On that valley descent, Remco Evenepoel makes it back just in time. because Wellens was starting to spark it. The gap went down 30 seconds as he was pulling in the valley, and as they did in the Dauphiné, Wellens goes to the front, followed by Narvaez, and UAE Team Emirates just start launching it from the bottom for Pogačar. In fact, Yates is already kind of giving a gap to Narvaez. His lead out's so explosive, and he's dropping the wheel, so he just basically does a death pull to bring Pogačar back to Narvaez's wheel. Narvaez sees Pogačar's on the wheel and just clicks up a gear and just starts absolutely sprinting. Lipovic and Roglic only, and Johannesson, they don't respond. Vingegaard's already kind of off the wheel, and unlike on stage 10, when Pogačar launches seated in the saddle, Vingegaard isn't even trying to follow. Pogačar sees he's got the gap, goes, clicks up a gear, speeds away, and with 11.8 Ks to go on the Hautacam, is Pogačar ending the Tour de France on the first mountain stage? It looked like Vingegaard was holding the gap stable. It was at about 7 seconds, but then after a couple of kilometers, maybe after Pogačar himself recovered from the Narvaez lead out, he starts to rip this gap open. It goes to 40 seconds, 50 seconds. Vingegaard's losing 10 seconds per kilometer, and Tadej Pogačar was going to be extending his GC lead big time in the World Championships bands, despite crashing at the end of yesterday's stage. Lipovic and Roglic, or mainly Lipovic, tries to work over Onley and Johannesson. Onley starts to pace because he doesn't want to get attacked over and over by the Red Bull Bora guys, and then Lipovic does counter him anyway. But Vingegaard's on 140. Lipovic was 50 seconds behind him, and he starts to close with 1K to go. I think it was about 35 seconds, and the young German rider was storming back and going close to the white jersey. But today was all about Tadej Pogačar looking out of breath for once at the top of the Hautacam and sealing a big victory and a big blow in this year's edition, with Vingegaard losing over 2 minutes when he already lost a minute plus in the first TT. Big gaps, as always, in modern Tour de France cycling. Vingegaard on 2:10, Lipovic only 13 seconds behind on 2:23, then Johannesson only on 3 minutes, Voekelin, Evenepoel, same group, 3:35, Gol on 4:02, and Roglic on 4:08. Here's what Pogačar had to say after the race.
I almost already forgot about this. I was just looking forward for today, and then all the people was all the time coming to me and saying, oh yeah, this is the revenge time and blah blah blah, and then when we approached the bottom of the climb, it was just a reverse story of a few years ago. One Belgium guy again on the front team, and our team in the front. So yeah, it was really. I'm super happy to take time and to win on this climb. And
in terms of GC, the gaps are even bigger. Vingegaard on 3:31 now, although he does move up 2 spots over Remco Evenepoel. Evenepoel on 4:45. Lipovic, Voekelin only, though. The white jersey battle is separated by less than 2 minutes. That'll be a really exciting battle between Evenepoel, Lipovic, Voekelin only. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you at the recap of the TT tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.